Hi, I'm Walt Bartman, and I'm the founder and director of the Yellow Barn Studio and the founder and director of the Summer Duck Studio in Tillman Island. I've been doing these workshops for the last, oh, probably 30 years, all right, on Tillman Island. I have a studio there. And, one of the things is that it's always been an inspiring place, but that's one of the reasons why I settled there is because it's a great place to paint. Lodgings, if you haven't gotten your lodging, these are places that I recommend. The ones at the top are the best, all right, so in that order. And I think, if you can get the Naps Narrows Marina, that's the best place to stay on the island. So that's what I would recommend. Uh, Tillman's for artists, believe it or not. I mean, people say it's for watermen, but no, it's for artists. Okay, and I think that truly it's the gateway to the Chesapeake, and it's just an amazing, amazing place. So here I am out painting, and if you study with me, you're going to really develop a passion for plein air painting. I do it all the time. Really, truly enjoy it. I mean, it is a challenge. You teach yourself to understand that you're trying to create an idea. They're not so easy to create, especially the way you want them to be. But you just give it your best. And I'll teach you as much as I can to learn how to control the paint and how to develop composition and draw the landscape. This is Alex, my wife. She'll be at most of the workshops helping you out. If you have any questions, she can help you with a number of things, including, um, you know, if you need something from, just give her a call. All right. She'll tell you, if you have ideas of things that you may want to pick up as far as food and that, she'll tell you what to do. This is Tilghman Island. You can see the red line. There's one main road. If you go down 3/4 of the island, it's only like 2 miles, 2.6 miles long. And when you go down the road, the Route 33, you're going to go through 2/3 of Tillman, and you're going to make a left-hand turn on Barnett Cove Road. It's a big open field. There's a little Waterman's Church a little bit further down, St. John's. If you go past the Waterman's Church on the right, you've gone too far. So you're going to go around that bend over the cove, and then you're going to go down to Barnett Cove Road. So the first road is Barnett Road. The next one is Barnett Cove Road. History of Tillman, it was settled in 1752 by the Tillmans, but there aren't any Tillmans living on the island. And this was a great place for the British. They had their warships and that here, and they got their provisions on Tillman. So if you find any buried treasure, let me know. This is our Summer Duck studio. It's a nice studio. It houses a lot of people. If we have problems with weather, we can paint inside, or we can, if it's too hot and you want to paint inside, you can do that. Sometimes we use it for the crab feast. I found it in 1994. Get another view of it. That was my boat. I recently sold it, but had it for 20 years. Tillman's a great place for boating as well. It's a small little village, Barneck. It used to have its own school and post office and corner store. Believe it or not, there were more people living on Tilghman Island at the turn of the turn of the 20th century, than there are today. All right, and I think that this where we were is where was a shucking house right at the end of the road. This is a map of Tillman. Okay, you have to come over the Bay Bridge, and then you take Route 50, and you're right outside of Easton. You're going to hit Route 33 as a bypass. All right, I think it's 322 is the bypass, and then you get on Route 33 to St. Michael's and Tillman, and you can see where Tillman is. It's an island. It's out in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay, right at the mouth of the Chop Tank. These are some paintings of mine. I'll give you an idea of what I can do with the landscape. And I think I'm inspired to paint a lot of different paintings. So this will give you an idea of what is in store for you if you come to Tillman. And this is where our studio is. Okay. And here I am. We're going to meet at Naps Narrows, and we'll have some lectures, demonstrations, paint for you, help you out as much as possible. Workshops are limited to 12 now. Want people to kind of be masked if you're not vaccinated, perhaps. But, we're going to be in the studio, and, there's sufficient room. It's a 24 by 36 foot studio, so there's sufficient room for everyone. I've been teaching 50 years, so really, truthfully, you'll get a lot of information from me. And I think I've got a lot of background. Been teaching in a number of different places, so that's also important to know. And again, this is last year, so don't worry about that. This is where we have the one of the things about Tillman is oysters and crabs. And after the Civil War, more families landed on Tilghman Island and attracted to the oyster business. One person on Tillman, I remember saying that he got enough oysters one day to buy a house. All right, so that was what the old days were like. These are the dead rises. They're a crab boat, oyster boat. The one on the far right, way down, is a skipjack. These are some other paintings of mine. I'll give you an idea. All right, and we'll give you demos. This is the map of Tillman. You want to study it, okay? You can see where we are, number 16, but these are the most important places on Tillman. Some of the names have changed, okay? Like So Neat Cafe is now 2 If by Sea, but Harrison's Chesapeake House is now the Wilder Hotel. But it'll give you an idea of where most of these places are. Fairbank Tackle tends to be the center of town. It's right over the drawbridge on your right. You can pick up beer and wine and, have some Tillman coffee, which is made with evaporated milk, all right? Sit on the Liar's Bench. It's out front. And I think, we meet there. This is the Tonger's Basin right there at the Narrows. And we paint here at night. You get an idea of what we're doing. All right, some of the paintings, they're fun. So I've been doing this over the years, and just love it. This is the country store. It's a great place for you to buy food. All right, and get snacks and order your lunch. You can order it by calling them and then go in and pick it up. This is the Tillman Waterman's Museum, but this is the Tillman House, unique to Tillman. You won't find these houses anywhere else. And of course, there are the old timers. There aren't as many as there used to be, but this was one of the old timers. To give you an idea, this was Chief Cherokee. All right, he swore he was his descendant of the Cherokees, but I don't think he was. All right, Tilghman Island is full of stories of the past. The history is everywhere, and I think you're going to enjoy the different locations. There is shade on Tilghman Island, but you want to drink water, especially during the summer workshops. And the lodgings, I put that in the early part of this too, so you got that. Naps Narrows Marina is one of the places you can stay. That's the one I recommend. The Black Walnut Point, sometimes you can stay there if they're not having weddings. And the Wilder Hotel, which used to be the Harrison's Chesapeake House, is a good place to stay. It's a little pricey, as is the Tilghman Island Inn. Tilghman Island Inn might have the best dinners, but usually they're booked for weddings as well. This is the captain's house on Tillman. This is one of the Tillman houses. This is the Narrows. It's a channel between Tilghman Island and the mainland, and it actually is the kind of highway for boats off between Cambridge and Oxford to the bay. This is one of the old dead rises being worked on, and you can see them. They're out crabbing every morning. This is the Severn Marine, which is a great place to paint if you like this kind of subject. And that's what I did there. And of course, here's Tilghman Island, the drawbridge, a famous drawbridge. All right. And of course, this is a painting I did where both of them were there, the old drawbridge and the new one. I don't think there are very many paintings of both drawbridges together. So, this is a unique painting. This is the new drawbridge. You be prepared to stop and wait for the drawbridge to go up and down. There's some of the paintings of the Narrows that I've done. And I'll just give you an idea of what I'm inspired by, which is the weather of Tilghman Island. The sunsets are magnificent. This is the Naps Narrows Marina and Inn, and we usually paint there. I'll give a demo on Friday. And, sometimes we're going to definitely talk about how to draw boats, how to paint boats, how to paint skies, how to paint water, all right? All the things that you need to know when you're at the Eastern Shore, and these are some of the paintings I did. So I'll just give you an idea. And sometimes we have, bad weather, but that's not bad for us, okay? It's inspirational. So unless there's lightning or thunder, and if you hear thunder, you don't want to be out painting, especially down by the water. All right, so as soon as you hear thunder, pack up. But it's the kind of place where the weather is a great asset. And you can see us now painting the sunset there at Knapp's Narrows. And we will do this every night. We'll paint sunsets. I'll give you demonstrations, show you how to start paintings. One of the beautiful photos of Tillman. This is a skipjack. So, 120-year-old boat where they would actually do all their oystering from. It's the one on the far left up there. And this is a painting I did of the skipjack. Another one there. These are the push boats. They're used to push the skipjacks out of the harbor. And this is a skipjack, a beautiful boat, actually. Another one. The Historic Waterman's Museum by St. John's, which is a great place. And of course, there's some more paintings of mine. You get an idea of my wife Alex painting. She'll be painting with us. The Dead Rise Crab and Oyster Boat. And there's some of my paintings of them. So we're going to have fun, all right? And I'm going to teach you how to paint. I'm going to teach you how to paint plein air. If you think the subject of a crab is interesting, show you how to do that too. Or horseshoe crab, which there are plenty of. This is the little map down where we are. And I think that you want to pay particular attention to the fact that people will be down for the weekend and you don't want to be in their space. And, the cooks down at the end, they don't mind if you're painting there. But the Kennedy House, which is no longer the Kennedy House, is actually just recently sold. And we don't know the people. And then the Keller House, which is another person bought. They're nice people, but they come down every weekend, so you don't want to be in their space. But you can paint in between those two houses, which is the Kennedy House that you see. That's where you can paint, all right? And then, of course, you see the Summer Duck Studio, and we want you to paint or park your cars perpendicular to the studio. All right, the Harrison House is something to paint, but it's in disrepair, and it's kind of dangerous to be too close. So just know that. The Garrett House, it's John Staniford's house now, and John doesn't mind us painting on his property, but not in front of his house, in front of the water. The field up at the head of the cove. This is the studio again. We do figure workshops during the winter. And this is the house across the street that I told you is actually the Harrison's house. You see people have used it as a subject, but it's been beaten up right now because the guy who bought the house started working on it, but he didn't have permits, and they stopped all their construction. So you can see I've used it as a subject over the years, and I just paint in any direction. There are ideas everywhere. All right, we're going to have a crab feast. All right, enjoy beer, wine, crabs, chicken, corn on the cob. Usually about $30 per person, and it's really great. And we have a critique at that point. So if anything, it's a great place to get to know everybody. So we do have time to do that. All right, we're going to have steamed crabs, of course. You can see that. You can see how everybody loves it. All right. So this is up from the cove, some of the boats I've painted. Some of the figures are down on the by the Black Walnut Inn. This is where fishermen hang out. Great subject. If we have a full moon, we might paint right out in the middle of the yard. That's what we were doing the last time we did this one. All right. And of course, there's the sunsets every night, which are magnificent. All right. So you're going to have a great, great time. And I think, if anything, these are paintings that I've done. This is Sharp's Island Lighthouse. You won't be able to see it unless you have some binoculars, but it's right outside our cove, about 13 miles out in the middle of the bay. You're going to say, I did this painting. It's in the Oxford Museum. You're going to say, why is it tilted? It's a caisson lighthouse, meaning it has it's all cement in the base. But the ice had picked it up and carried it down the bay. But when's the last time the bay had ice? I don't think since the 70s. All right. And then this is another one of the paintings I did of the lighthouse. There's nothing to compare to Tillman, all right? There's nothing compared to my workshops, I guarantee it. You're going to enjoy it. I really think people come back year and again. These are some of the other information. If you decide that you really want to go on some of the international workshops, we are leaving for Barcelona and Collioure, southern France, September 1st through the 10th. There's still a little bit of space available, so you may want to join us. All right, well, that's it. hopefully this will be an introduction to Tillman. And I think, we want you to really enjoy what's going on in Tillman. So if anything, it's going to be a great experience.